Hi everyone, my name is Tu, and today I would like to present my research proposal topic, which is science, technology, engineering, and math in early childhood context, education context. So this will be the table of content I'll be covered today. First, I will introduce you to the topic, and then I will show you my research question, and then research approach, research design, research philosophy, theory, paradigm, and then the context where the research will take place, the participants, sampling methods, and then I'll highlight some of the points in the literature review, and then the methodology, and then some ethical consideration, and at the end will be the reference for you guys to view. So introduction. STEM refers to four core subjects in the world, which are science, technology, engineering, and maths. In Australia, the Department of Education pays high interest and investment into STEM, even early STEM. STEM are included in the EYF outcomes. There are so many funded programs across the country, such as Early Learning STEM, Little Scientists, Let's Count, by the Department of Education. It is never too young for STEM. Early STEM can critically impact on educational outcomes later on at school and life. Research also demonstrates that preschoolers are the ones who acquire knowledge of math will be predicted to have better academic achievement than early reading or attention skill in the future, as STEM assists children to develop the problem solving and higher level skills. So the purpose of this research is to investigate on the importance of STEM in early child setting from educator perspective and reflection. Besides, the study will be exploring educators' effective STEM practice in early child context. So my research question are, the type of the question are inquiry and knowledge generating. The first one is why STEM matter in early childhood. And the next question is, how do educators perceive STEM in early child setting, and how do educators incorporate STEM practice in the curriculum? So for the research approach, it is gonna be the mixed method approach, which the data collection will be from both quantitative and qualitative methods. The researcher will be developed from a theory that educators acknowledge and understand the value of the importance of STEM in early child education. Therefore, the deductive method confirmatory will be applied by the researcher to investigate the topic, emphasize and confirm the theory with hypothesis. Research design. So for the research design, the researcher will be using convergent mixed method design. This design allows the researcher to collect, generate information and data from both qualitative and quantitative methods. The design will support researchers to acquire in-depth knowledge, information, and evidence from different perspectives of educators. Therefore, it enables the researcher to collect and critically analyze the findings. This integration will support the researcher to check the accuracy between the findings from both methods, qualitative and qualitative. Besides, this method allows the researcher to compare the quantitative statistic with qualitative findings, directly enabled to provide the final results, which are strengthen the rigor, which are the principle of the research. So this diagram show how I'm gonna do it. First, I'm gonna collect the data from quantitative method, and then I'm gonna collect the data from qualitative method, and then I'm gonna compare the data, and then after that, I will provide interpretation and results at the end. So for the research philosophy, theory, and paradigm is the way how the researchers see the world. First, it's going to be constructivism philosophy. It allows the researcher to understand the topic from multiple participants' perspective and socio-cultural context under the naturalistic inquiry. It also helps people to generate their own knowledge and from experience and interaction of events. Constructivism believes the learning is a process where information and knowledge can be generated and analyzed from in the process of learning. Constructivist researchers promote interaction with participants and generate findings in a very open-minded from this interaction. The second one I will be using is the pragmatism. Pragmatism allows the researcher to have the freedom of choice and not only stick to only one system of philosophy and reality. Pragmatism also enables the researcher to utilize different forms of data collection and analysis. So, for the context participant sampling methods, the researcher will take place both physically and online form. The physically setting will be an early learning center located in North Shore suburb. The center was selected due to the familiarity and convenience of the researcher. The educators in the service will be invited as the volunteer participants. Other early child ed workers with qualification outside the center will also be invited to participate for the researcher to collect meaningful data. For the online procedure, the researcher will send out a permission form and questionnaire to the participant to fill. Then interview can be conducted both online, via calls, or face-to-face. So these are some of the highlights that from my literature review that I got. First, research has proven the brain can explore, interact, and observe in early years of life with the process of synapse of neuron. STEM is very close to children's daily and it should be utilized often to practice scientific thinking and reasoning skills of young children. In their research, Wade and Cohen have analyzed 34 different studies to show the impact of the STEM education on increasing interest and motivation in STEM areas, developing problem-solving capacity, scientific competencies, as well as student learning outcome in the future. Also, STEM education is also seen to have a positive effect on academic success and achievement in school, as STEM tends to create natural excitement and engagement in children and students. It aims to increase children's and students' knowledge and understanding the problem under the scientifically views and logical thinking. STEM education brings long life benefits for children, as STEM promotes the necessary skills in the modern decade such as teamwork, collaboration, problem-solving skills. Many researchers think the best and ideal age to start teaching STEM is in the preschool age group. Another research also tells us that when children interact and practice with early STEM concepts and skills, such as framing questions, collecting the data, solving the scientific problem, they are actually developing strong essential skills that can be used later on. So for the methodology I'll be doing will be, first I will send the consent form will be sent for the participants to get the permission to get involved. Second, questionnaire will be included. Mostly will be closed-ended and multiple choice question to gather information relating to main question of the research. Also, the question will be used to ask specific things related to the variables such as qualification, experience, backgrounds. This is a form of quantitative method. And then after that, interviews will be happen. Semi-structured interview will be implemented when the researcher will design a range of open and closed-ended questions for the participants. This question will be designed to gain an in-depth understanding, knowledge, experiences, and information of participants. Therefore, the researcher can provide the best results at the end in terms of qualitative form for this method. So for the validity and rigor, it refers to the principle that measure the trustworthiness of the research. So the researcher will aim for the accuracy by observing the educator practice and compare with the answer. Also, using data collection method. For the variables, these are the characteristics and factors that might impact on the research finding. Therefore, the variables of this research will be participants' experiences, qualification, if included qualification related to STEM, culture, background, and belief. Each participant will be assigned a number instead of using their name. Ethical consideration enable to implement the research. The researcher will be consider some of the ethical aspects such as privacy and confidentiality. All participants will be notified, informed the purpose and aim of the research and the values of the participant involvement. Research will be protect and a researcher will need to protect the participant and develop the trust relationship, promote the integrity and of the research. The participant have the right to ask anything about the research and they can withdraw at any point. And this is some more the confidence. The researcher will be act under the Code of Ethics, Privacy Act, the National Statement on Ethical Conduct in Human Research, and TAFE New South Wales privacy policy. And I will be respectful, avoid bias, discrimination, and keep confidential and privacy. Thank you, and this is the reference.